The International Criminal Court has rejected former President Rodrigo Duterte's challenge to its jurisdiction over his crimes against humanity case, clearing the way for a full trial. In a decision released on Thursday, the ICC pretrial chamber unanimously dismissed Duterte's claim that the court no longer has authority to investigate him following the Philippines' withdrawal from the Rome Statute in 2019. The chamber ruled that since the ICC opened a preliminary examination into the Philippines drug war in February 2018, before the withdrawal took effect in March 2019, the court retains jurisdiction over alleged crimes committed during that period.
And let's discuss this with ICC Assistant to Counsel Attorney Cristina Conti. Good morning, Attorney, for joining us once again.
Good morning, Angela, and hello.
Ayan, Attorney, medyo mukhang may clarity na tayo ng konti. So I'd like I'd like to get your reaction on the ICC rejecting the former President Duterte's jurisdiction challenge.
Well, for us, it feels like an I told you so moment. From the very beginning, we believe that the ICC has jurisdiction, which is precisely why we went to the ICC. And even after we withdrew, our sentiments about the withdrawal is that it's an evasive tactic. And yun na yung sinabi ng ICC mismo, that you cannot use Article 127 of the Rome Statute, that's the withdrawal provision, to evade responsibility. And so we are, in a way, well, happy because it leads us one step closer to trial. But of course, we still have the question of fitness to stand trial of Duterte.
Okay. But once and for all, does this, finally close the jurisdictional challenges?
Technically, no, because they could still appeal this. The appeals chamber of the court is like their Supreme Court. And if they have a contrary opinion, then this could be reversed. But there's a lot of countries looking at the ICC now, and particularly looking to leave the ICC. This is a signal, this should be a signal for the ICC that they have to say that they have jurisdiction over crimes, especially at the time that they were committed. Kasi parang sumali ka sa laro, may nangyaring problema, exit ka kapag may bulilyaso. Hindi ka pwedeng umalis ng basta-basta sa ICC.
So, ibig sabihin nito, yung tinignan nila dito na jurisdiction na even nag-withdraw ang Duterte administration sa ICC noong 2019, pero dahil nagbukas ang investigasyon noong 2018 noong February, doon nila binasa yung desisyon na, teka muna, amin pa rin to, may jurisdiction pa rin kami.
Yes, tama yan, Angela. Kasi nga, yung may medyo novel approach pa itong ICC defense rather. Sabi ng defense, yes, we agree. They agreed that at the time that the crimes were committed, we were a member of the ICC. Maski sila, hindi nila ma-deny yun. Between 2016 to 2019, in fact, way back 2011 when the Rome Statute became effective in the Philippines, covered yan. Ang tanging question lang nila, hindi kayo agad nag-imbestiga. The 2018 preliminary examination opened by the Office of the Prosecutor is considered a matter under the consideration of the court. Sabi kasi ng defense, hindi ang dapat tingnan natin yung 2021 opening of an investigation, capital I. It's a formal stage. Now, what the ICC says, whoever in our office, anyone within the auspices of the ICC, whoever acts in quote-unquote small I, investigates a situation, that is the ICC coming into the picture.
Parang, Attorney, I'd like to backtrack a little, but the same topic naman about this. There was during the hearing, I think this was in the Senate, about the arrest of former President Duterte. It was brought up about the way and the manner of which the former president was arrested. I think this was the OJ Secretary then Remulla saying nakasama pa kay former President Duterte ang pag-alis sa ICC because had we still been a member of the ICC, the manner of which he was arrested might have been problematic because parang requirement daw ng ICC i-present nyo muna sa local court before you transfer to us. Is that true?
Well, yes, according to the ICC, actually, whether you're a member state or not a member state, there's a provision that says Article 60, when an accused is arrested, may tinatawag na, katulad nung sinabi doon sa first hearing, naalala nyo, tinanong siya, anong pangalan mo, okay ka ba?
Yes.
At gusto mo bang mag-avail ng interim release? You have remedies that you could avail of. The provision says that you should have been presented before a local court. If we were a member state, we would have had to follow that to the letter.
Yes.
Anong ginawa mo? Dapat itong gagawin mo. And, well, for me, I think that the Philippine government should have had presented him before a competent judicial authority. Kaya lang yung question nga, bakit ako umexit na nga ako dyan eh? So for them, it became sort of an option. We had thought that he would be transferred first to a member state na kailangan gumawa. Kaya lang baka sabi naman ng member state, bakit korte ko ang magpapasya yan? Hindi naman ako nanghuli. Kaya ang nangyari, diretso surrender sa ICC.
Yun.
Which is, in a way, valid.
Right.
To note, dalawa pa lang nagwi-withdraw sa ICC.
Yes.
It's Burundi and the Philippines. So nagkaroon ng parang, kumbaga, gray area. Paano kung former member state?
Yun.
Well, we had said, we still have to cooperate with the court. Pero at this point, the Philippines can invoke its non-membership
Correct.
to escape liability na. Paano namin gagawin? Hindi naman kami member.
Interesting point yun, attorney. Parang ang sinasabi kasi nila, had we been a member, then they would have followed it to the letter na when they arrested him, they would have brought him to the court, waited from the decision of the judge bago ilipat. So this was a loophole. Kumbaga, is this setting a precedence for future possible cases that the ICC may handle?
Yes, definitely. There's a lot of countries actually trying to leave the ICC now. There's at least 3 West African states, one in Europe, Hungary, saying na, teka, parang madedehado kami. And now they understand that once you join the ICC, you have to be committed to it. Kahit umexit ka na, the ICC still has jurisdiction over the crimes that were committed during the time that you were a member. At alam kong sinong matatakot lang naman sa ganun. Ang matatakot yung mga nagko-commit ng crimes against humanity, war crimes, crimes of aggression, and genocide. So it's a warning for the abusive and the oppressive. It's not technically, it would not affect the ordinary Filipino. Kung wala ka namang, kumbaga, wala ka namang army na ini-instruct or PNP o anumang armed force, wala ka namang, hindi ka aabot sa ICC.
Well, if I can remember it correctly, attorney, na kaya nagkaroon ng withdrawal sa panig ng Duterte administration sa ICC, it's because of that February 2018 na opening up of investigation. Tama, no?
Precisely. Sabi din ng decision yun. Excuse me. Sabi ng decision, hindi nyo maihiwala yon. Yung March withdrawal was precisely because the February announcement. In fact, if you trace back, sabi nila, hindi naman kami ganun ka-late na nagsabi. As early as December 2016, sabi na ni prosecutor, I am keeping an eye on you, Philippines. Kaya we are studying closely.
Okay, so what happens now? Let's say for example na-resolve na natin nga ito talaga totally yung jurisdictional challenges. So ngayon, ang natitira na lang natin na usapin ay yung fit to trial ni Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte. So ito ba ay matutuloy na tayo sa confirmation of charges? Kasi di pa natin natatalaka yun di ba? Wala pa tayo sa stage ng confirmation of charges.
Oo nga, kaya sabi namin, ano ba to? Delay ng delay, pero at least malinaw kung ano yung, kumbaga, bare bones. The court has jurisdiction, the charges are crimes against humanity. May pending na lang na okay ba yung akusado? Kumbaga, is he fit to stand trial? But then, if you look at the term itself, sabi trial. Hindi pa nga trial yung confirmation of charges In fact, that's pre-trial. For us, we would have preferred if we had pushed on with the pre-trial proceedings, meaning yung confirmation of charges, kasi medyo kakaiba to sa Pilipinas. Pag-uusapan pa lang yung charges. Wala pang ang specific charges. May draft, may proposal na yung prosecution. Pwedeng mag-comment yung defense, pwedeng mag-comment yung victims. One of our comments is that the charges are too narrow. Killings lang ba ang nangyari nung panahon ng war on drugs? Marami pang iba, maraming nakulong, torture, and other inhumane acts. Kaya, we would have preferred if we had pushed on with September 23rd, or let's say at the soonest possible time, tuloy natin yung confirmation of charges hearing, and then saka pag-usapan yung fitness to stand
Just what I wanted to ask, Attorney. Hypothetically, let's say na natuloy tayo sa confirmation of charges, we get that out of the way. At dumating sa punto na i-determine ng ICC if he's fit to stand trial. What if sinabi hindi siya fit to stand trial pero nag-confirm na tayo ng charges?
The case will be, in a sense, adjourned, quote-unquote, the trial, meaning hindi siya dismissed. Matitigil lang. And for the ICC, they don't think of fitness to stand trial as an absolute end to the proceedings. Hindi siya dismissal, wala namang ebidensyang naharap tungkol dun sa kaso. Kaya, katulad ng, kumbaga, logically, if someone is sick, then he has to be taken care of or institutionalized if necessary. Ito yung pwede siyang pumunta ng hospice o kaya ng care home every 120 days. His medical situation will be assessed, meaning the ICC will continue to have custody over him.
Right.
So ganun
I
din.
remember that you told that before eh.
So he'd still be detained, no?
He's still detained, and the case will be, in a sense, archived until the time that he is fit to stand trial. There is just one narrow, kumbaga, possibility. When he is, kumbaga, permanently not fit to stand trial.
And that God forbid, no, that's not death. But what you mean permanently, let's say he's out of it, he's in a coma, or psychologically impaired already talaga?
Yes, yung psychological impairment, which the defense is pushing, that his situation is degenerative, it will not become better. Yung ganong klase, the ICC, of course, considers humanitarian grounds, and recently they have considered releasing someone. May in order na silang i-release, mga 90 years old na to, sabi nila, sige, ibibigay namin dun sa home country niya. Kayo na muna yung bahala sa kanya. Pero serving sentence na yun. Para sa ICC, importante, magkaroon muna ng kalinawan. May kaso ba to o wala? Hindi pa tayo nakakarating dun eh. Kaya kung ako talaga sa kanila rin, tapusin na muna natin, may kaso ba o wala, kaysa sa tumakas-takas o
pa-delay-delay.
Pero attorney, ano ba yung assuming na the former president is convicted, what is yung time in prison that he will be serving?
Sabi sa Rome Statute, it could be for a term of life imprisonment. According to jurisprudence, kinikilala nila na, teka, pag life, siguro maximum 30 years. Over the several cases, I think the average period or parang the median, yung usual na binibigay is about 10 years.
And saan yung ito kasing ICC parang detention center lang to, di ba? Saan siya ilalagay if ever?
In a penal facility. So parang bilibid ng isang member country. Unfortunately, hindi tayo makapag-offer dyan sa may Muntinlupa o kaya
because
sa
we're not
Davao,
a member
diba?
anymore.
May Davao Penal Colony sa Dapicol. Hindi tayo makapag-volunteer kasi hindi tayo member. But a member state has to kind of volunteer or take him in. The other countries that have already volunteered are actually mostly in Europe. So UK, Norway, I think, and Belgium, and of course the Netherlands.
Gaganda daw yung mga kulungan doon. Pero attorney, where are we now in the process yung dun sa pagdating sa fitness to stand trial? Kasi if I remember it correctly, also pinag-uusapan na magbibigay ang korte ng kanilang doktor para ma-examine talaga itong si Pangulong Duterte para makamove forward tayo.
Yes, napili na ng korte yung mga experts, tatlong experts sa forensic psychiatry, behavioral neurology, tapos meron silang special gerontology. Psychiatrist. So, gerontology and parang behavioral neurologist. So, this is someone who has expertise hindi lang sa psychiatry per se, kundi sa psychiatry ng matatanda.
Geriatric psychiatry.
Oo, parang geriatric psychiatry pa, to be specific. yung mental health nila. So these 3 experts have to submit a report separately or jointly by October 31. Halloween.
Oo.
So, paano yan, attorney, if they
October
determine that
31.
if they determine that the former president is psychologically impaired, even if it is determined na overwhelming yung charges, wala na, will they drop the case?
Again, if he is declared unfit, the case will be kind of adjourned or the proceedings adjourned, essentially archived. And then,
determination is permanent.
if the determination is permanent, at this point, the rules say you have to check again every 120 days.
So ganun din.
Kumbaga, parang permanent ba? Because in the case that I
go ahead.
mentioned, yung parang kind of permanent na wala nang, nag-serve na lang ng sentence.
Yeah.
He was in detention for about 10 years.
Mahaba.
So medyo mahaba, 10 years ba or something like that. So nakakulong na ng matagal. Tsaka may finding na of guilt against him. Tapos maayos yung usap dun sa bansa. Kayo nang bahala, lagay niyo sa medical facilities. And I think what's important is when he was returned, yung itong inuwi, when he was returned, he was no longer a threat to others. In our case, I would say that the return of Duterte, he himself will be still a threat to others. Take note that he could still be sworn in as Mayor of Davao.
That's right.
He has 6 months, diba? He has 6 months to show up for the oath and all before he could be legally, kumbaga, replaced. And then as Mayor of Davao, he said that he will double the killings. His daughter is vice president. His son is vice mayor, and so forth.
Right. So, ang mangyayari dito, even if na, let's say for example, kasi hindi lang naman siya yung akusado, may mga iba pa tayong mga, di ba, akusado dito na inaantay din natin, sabi nga nila, mag-release ng mga arrest warrant, like sila Senator Bongo or Senator Bato. So, the case would not push through or move forward kahit na may iba pang mga akusado. Tapos, not fit to stand trial si Pangulong Duterte.
The cases would be independent. So, kung anong mangyari sa kaso ni Duterte, hiwalay doon kung sino mang susunod. Pero itong decision actually impacts them. Sina Bato, Bongo, and others. Because if the decision had been the other way around, the ICC has no jurisdiction, wala na silang pwedeng i-issue ng warrant of arrest. And in fact, the case of Duterte would have to be dismissed. Wala naman palang kapangyarihan yung korte. So, pauuwiin na sana yan. Kaya ang laki nung nakasalalay dito sa jurisdiction challenge because everything will be erased. Kumbaga, zero lahat ang sa mga pamilya ng victim ng war on drugs. Kaya laking ginhawa talaga para sa mga pamilya to.
Okay, kanina nabanggit niyo po, attorney, na may mga member countries na rin ng ICC ang gustong kumalas. 'Di ba? Pero itong decision na to over yung jurisdiction nga dito sa kaso na to, will this strengthen the let's say international accountability ng ICC?
Definitely, because it says once you commit, parang kasal, kumbaga, once you commit, o sa Pilipinas wala ngang divorce. Once you commit, you have to stay here and be beholden by the rules or obligations. At kahit umexit ka, kahit kumbaga may divorce na kayo or legal separation, yung paninindigan mo, kailangan mo pa ring harapin. If we were to proceed with the allegory pa nga yung child support. Diba? May nangyari, meron kang kailangang obligasyon na i-fulfill. Kaya hindi pwedeng, okay, I'm free. Wala na akong kailangan gawin. Kaya yung mga member state, I see it as 2 ways. One, kung may tingin ako na nagawa na nung habang miyembro ako, kahit umexit sila, kailangan nilang panagutan yon. Pero 2, kung wala pang nangyayaring krimen, exit na ako para in the future, ito lang ang masama, para in the future, I can commit the crimes or someone can commit the crimes with impunity ng kawalang pananagutan.
Right. Attorney, before we let you go, we don't have much time, pero tanungin ko lang kasi we've taking so much time and space po talking about President Rodrigo Duterte, but how are the victims right now?
They're relieved na we just had the issue on interim release resolved na parang okay, hindi siya uuwi. pero laging dalawa lang naman yung tanong eh. Baka uuwi po ba yan at matutuloy ba ang trial? Ngayon, medyo nasabi namin 80% na matutuloy, 70-80% na matutuloy ang trial. Pero hanggat wala yung issue ng fitness, hindi namin masabing 100% matutuloy ang trial.
On that note, maraming salamat po muli sa inyong oras, ICC Assistant to Counsel, Attorney Cristina Conti.
Salamat, ingat.